Well, welcome back. My name is Cassidy Doolittle, and today we will be tackling our second session in our Building Blocks of Drawing series on shapes. So last time, we just worked on how to draw a good circle using muscle memory and a technique I showed you guys. This week, we will be taking our practice, our circles, and we'll be turning them into objects. So I had asked for just some suggestions, what you guys see in your house, your home, your fridge, your life, and you sent me an incredible list, way more than I could ever do at one time. So this is just a little sampling of some of the great ideas. And like I said, I wanted to do all of them at one time, but if I were, we would be here for an hour, and you don't have time for that. You need to get creating. So instead, I took a few of the ideas where I felt the shapes could build on each other. So if you can get one idea right, you can get several in a family of the same idea, the same shape. So today we are going to work on taking your object ideas and making them come to life. You are just going to need a pencil and a piece of paper with some circles on it. Big, small, doesn't matter. So with that, let's get started. Okay, to begin with, Liliana wanted to see a pizza. So pizzas are a big circle inside a slightly bigger circle. So you have kind of just an outline, and pizza crusts are not perfect. So you can make them kind of bumpy, and then you just do intersecting lines for the slices. And I'm gonna make this a pepperoni one. And we'll do a few little dots for spices. If you can do a pizza, if you'll see, the slice of an orange or a lemon is exactly the same shape. You just add a few different details. Also, you can do a pie. Similarly, Finn had wanted to see a tire, and Kylie had wanted to see a tire swing. So I'm gonna show you how to do both of those in one. So we're gonna start with a smaller circle inside of a big circle, and you're gonna do kind of a half moon for a depth line. It gives it some dimension there. And then tires have these little tread marks on the outside, and we'll give it just some detail here. Looks like it's been rolling around, and there you have a tire. If you want to turn that into a swing, we're going to add some rope. So kind of just two soft rectangles next to each other. We'll make some lines. A circle for the knot, and then you're just going to draw the rope up to the swing, the tree, and we'll do, I don't know, a few little leaves there. So if you can draw a tire, the same shape applies to a roll of toilet paper, a little circle inside of a big circle. If you can draw a roll of toilet paper, you can draw a donut. A donut, you can draw a pancake. So you can see they all kind of have a similar trend going with their design. Jaden had asked for a pumpkin, so I'm gonna just do one of those little pie pumpkins. They have kind of a long stem, and they're pretty round. And we'll do a few of the little lines coming up, and you have a pumpkin. You can also use this idea for any round fruit. So Holly had wanted to see an apple. You just do the dents on the top and the bottom, and you've got an apple. A triangle on each end for a lemon or a lime, and there you have it. Moving on, Riker had wanted to see a stoplight. So a stoplight is three circles kind of stacked on top of each other, and we're just gonna outline it in a rectangle. Okay, and then I'm gonna add a tiny little depth line on the inside to make it look like they're kind of set back, and you can add some cross-hatching. Cross-hatching is just crisscrossing lines for shadow or texture. And then we'll do another rectangle here and maybe a little shadow. And there you have it. All right, Ryan had wanted to see a balloon, and Alexis had wanted to see a turtle. So we'll start with the turtle. Turtle, you just make these kind of blobs. They do not need to be perfect. They can be all different. Just try not to have them touch each other. And then we'll do a little head, a semicircle, and then 4 little squares for the feet, and a crescent moon for the tail. And let's take the balloon string and have it wrap around the turtle, because why not? All right, Ava had a really good one. I loved this one. It was a hay bale, a round hay bale. So you kind of you can start with a little dot in the middle, and you just get to make messy circles, half circles. Just make it look like all of that alfalfa is twisted around. And then you can kind of add a little line, and you're gonna make another half circle and a little line to make it three-dimensional. You can add maybe the twine. So if you do a hay bale, you can do the cross section of a tree with all of the tree rings in it. Those two are very similar. All right, Julius had a fun idea. It was to take a circle and turn it into a Lego head. So you can actually make a pretty good square by just rounding off the corners of a circle. And Lego heads are kind of a soft square. So we're gonna do that. And then whenever I do a face, I make a cross so that it helps me get the eyes in the center. So we're gonna do two eyes and a mouth, a connector up here, and one down there, and you have a Lego head. Addison had a great one, a funny one, a toilet bowl. So toilet bowls are a little more oval, so we're just gonna kind of bring that shape out a little bit. Let's do a rim. So circle inside of a circle. And the drain. Maybe some ripples to show some water. And since I live in an only boy home, our toilets are never clean. So let's keep this realistic. There's a toilet bowl. Okay, Sloan had wanted to see a snowman, and I thought it would be funny to do it upside down. So we're gonna do a big old head, tiny little bottom, and do some eyes, carrot nose, smile, and instead of a hat, let's do some earmuffs, because those are also semicircles. Give it some arms, maybe a scarf, and you've got the snowman. Okay, next up we have Val. She wanted to see a porthole. So this is kind of like the pizza, making an outline in the middle. And for portholes, you're gonna have those bolts. And a trick for creating like a glare or shininess on a window or a mirror, you just add a few little lines like that. And let's make this in a submarine. Put a nose on it. Command center. And let's do a periscope. Oop, that actually looks more like a bendy straw, but that's okay. I had several requests for an eyeball, so we are gonna do that, and I had one for the Eye of Sauron. So an eyeball, you add kind of two little triangles on the side, and we're gonna make this kind of like a scary one. So the pupil is gonna be elongated. The iris, which is the colored part of the eye, we'll just make a few little lines like that. And this guy lives in a scary black tower. So we're gonna draw a U and another U, and kind of make it look like a crown. And the next one, Troy had a really great idea for a hobbit home. Their doorknobs are in the middle of the door. So we'll do a door frame. Some wood grain. And they live in grassy hills. So we'll add some grass here. Maybe a path. And the Eye of Sauron can look down and watch the hobbits. Okay, last one, bubbles. This came from Amy. Bubbles are really easy. Usually you start with a bigger one and they get smaller as they go up, especially if they're in the water. So you do kind of a bent rectangle on each side. You can just do one there and one there, and maybe we make one pop. All right, that was a lot. That was fast, and thanks for hanging with me. This isn't the pace that I normally go. It's just so that you can see how many objects we can get done with just some basic circles. So you start with the circle, you move on to the shapes, and eventually where I want you to get is that you take those shapes and you turn them into your own creative ideas. So I did this with just some bubbles that I had used with colored pencils, and I made them into paratroopers because I thought that that was a really fun way to make it whimsical. So next time we are going to go through squares and triangles. So kind of do the same thing. Think of things in your life around you in nature that you see those shapes in. And also one more thing, I'm going to look at all of these things that you guys sent in, and I'm going to try, and it's going to be very difficult, but I'm going to try and pick my favorite. And next time I will announce a winner who will get a sack of my favorite art supplies. So tune back in next time, and thanks so much for joining me today.